Community Link, presented by Financial Center First Credit Union.
Welcome to Community Link. I'm Carolyn Mays. Connecting volunteer groups with students to help them explore career curiosities is the mission of Aperture, Indy. To tell us about this important initiative is Andre Franklin. Thank you, Andre, for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks
so
for
you're
having me.
connecting students with their career initiatives, their curiosities.
Yeah.
Tell us how you're doing that.
Yeah, so we started a program called the STEAM Exposure Camp. It's where we take the areas of science, technology, engineering, and arts, and we do a hands-on program for kids to start to interact with it and start to discover their ideas around working in that space.
And why those particular areas? Why are those important?
Yeah, my background is I'm a technology professional, and technology is one of those areas that's fueling jobs of the future. And as we all know, STEM is always on the topic or top of everyone's mind. So we figured let's start to focus on bringing those programs and opportunities to kids at a level that makes sense.
Awesome. So the name Aperture, really cool name. How'd you come up with that?
Yeah, so my pastor said when I was a kid that you can't choose what you've never been exposed to. And I just played around with that concept, and I figured out that cameras expose light to an image or a negative, and that's how you get the picture. So I took that idea and said, exposure is really what we're trying to do, and the aperture is the device that opens and closes to let in light. How about we do a better job of letting more light into situations so we can change negatives into positives?
That's so cool. Tell us about some of the successes that you've had with Aperture.
Yeah, so we started this about 3 years ago and really had no idea where we were going. We just wanted to serve. And pretty quickly, we got a great response from the community to the point of we served 116 kids in less than 7 times we did the program out.
Wow.
And caught the attention of the likes of Salesforce. So right before COVID hit, we were going to be hosting our largest one, April 17th, 2021. But COVID struck, we couldn't do it. So being able to get on the radar of a company that big was really, really a big success point for us.
That's awesome. You've got so many projects that you're working on. That was one.
Yep.
Tell us about some of the other fun things that you're doing.
Yeah, so again, in the space of exposure, a partner of mine started a group or an event series that we call Brunch and Grooves. And the whole concept...
Brunch and Grooves.
Brunch and Grooves,
okay.
yeah. So the whole concept was there's a lot of black people doing a lot of great things in the city, but there's not a lot of opportunity for them to get together and talk about what they might have going on. So Brunch and Grooves was initially started as just a networking opportunity that hopped around the city to introduce minority communities to each other, but also really, really cool places. So we're celebrating our 3-year anniversary on March 19th at the Skyline Club, and we've got a lot of excitement around that. There's a lot of time, or a lot of people's first time being in that space.
So when I think of Brunch and Grooves, well, for me, I think of the Isley Brothers Groove with You, because that's my favorite group.
Yes.
But when I think of Brunch and Grooves, I think about an event like that is probably for younger 20-year-olds, maybe 30-year-olds.
Right.
Is it just for that age group?
No, so I grew up in a house where we cleaned every Saturday, and so I know the Isley Brothers catalog pretty well, and I'm also one of the DJs for Brunch and Groove. So if I see you in the room, I'm going to play the Isley Brothers, but I might blend it in with Lucky Day. If you don't know who that is, he's a younger artist, right? So it's all about bringing together the minority community in a way that's comfortable and in a setting that may not be familiar, so that we can start to bridge the gap in the community.
Thanks for what you're doing, and thanks for doing it in such a fun way.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us for this week's Community Link. To share this story or learn more, head to wishtv.com. We'll see you next week.